Diane Sipa.
My remarks will be brief. I've always found it difficult to speak at a wake. You are slowly strangling our school district by eliminating teachers, eliminating, as we saw in the budget cuts, a lot of good educational opportunities. You're going to increase the class sizes. You're going to extend the bus rides. And after all of that, you're going to increase our taxes, which of course will certainly encourage people to move into this district. What a shame what you people have done. I only have a few questions. The first one is the same one I've asked repeatedly and have never received a straight, truthful answer, just the shyster shuffle. What is happening with our gas under the Laurel Valley campus? Are there plans to sell it rather than use it for our district and its financial woes? I understand that the RMB Realty from Somerset has looked at the property. And I also understand that Dr. Oldham expects us to believe that they just happened to drive by without an invitation. Was there an appraisal given on the property? If so, what was it? Who do we know that lives in Somerset County that might be interested in this property? Maybe a member of the Friends of Ligonier who is in mining. My second question deals with the cost of transportation. I read in the Tribune Democrat that the cost of transportation budgeted for this year was $270,000, more than last year because you closed the Laurel Valley School. Is that the deficit that Robinson always forgets when he toots his horn about saving $1.2 million? Remember his little one-page financial report that promised $1.2 million in savings, but he failed to include the increase in busing expenses. No more $1 million. But if you keep telling a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. The article also stated that you managed to get Lodestar to reduce its rate to help you out. Well, what about the surcharges that will be added to the cost because of the recent and ever-rising cost of fuel? Is this going to be another surprise in July? No one is talking about this. I also heard that the express buses for the northern end will be discontinued. The rationale must be that this will save money. Did you consider the possibility that this could increase the number of students that will leave this district rather than extend the already extremely long bus ride? And my last question is, how can you claim fiscal responsibility when we are looking at a hefty tax increase that you are trying to shove down our throats without a referendum? You promised that we would save tax money and maybe even lower taxes. And you have the audacity to want to be rewarded for your failure with another term in office. I guess they should have given a bonus to the guy who designed the Titanic.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Diane Sipa, followed by Dean Banko.
Hello, Diane Sipa from Ligonier Township. I would like to offer a special thank you to Mary Reich for all of her hard detective work. I certainly learned a lot through her Right to Know request. I would also like to thank the board and the administration for starting to take the hard steps necessary to bring the budget into balance, and I hope that you'll continue the process. The class sizes that you described to me do not seem out of whack at all, coming from a background of 30 plus kids in classes, so I think that's not unreasonable. I would like to agree with the previous commentator that having some discussion from the board on the stage this evening would certainly be welcome. Having only attended a few board meetings, it's always surprising that there's such absolute silence, so we would sure like to hear more ideas for cuts. I am wondering has the district received an answer from the Board of Education yet for the exceptions request?
We've received approval for the grandfathered debt exception, about $213,000, was that right?
So that was approved, but the others were not?
They go to different departments, so that department has approved that exception.
Okay, so the other ones are still pending? Okay. Did I understand you to say that Steve Dunn is no longer going to be employed by the district?
Steve Dunn was a literacy consultant, as you know, and we will continue to use the strategies that he has worked with us. We will continue to do writing workshop, we will continue with expository reading and writing, and we will continue with our shared reading and subsequent literacy centers. Guided reading will be facilitated by another trainer.
But we won't be paying Mr. Dunn to come into the district for consultancy?
No, we won't.
Okay. And the other consultant?
I
Do we know how much that they're going to be charging the district?
It will be $750 a day. However, we've not worked through our contract yet.
And how far away does this consultant come from?
15 miles.
Okay. Well, thank you for making that
You're welcome.
clear. I think that's really all I have to say. Again, I think this is totally in flux, and I'm happy to see the cuts that were presented tonight. I hope that the board will continue to work diligently to cut it more, and ask that you reduce any possible tax increase as much as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sibba. Dean Banco, followed by Kevin Glova. Sorry, Kevin.
First, I'd like to say congratulations that you're actually working on the budget a little bit and trying to whittle it down, but I think you're going about it the wrong way. Our teachers are our greatest asset that this district had, and I think you need to find a different way to cut the budget instead of just cutting teachers, because again, they are our greatest asset. And I personally, coming from K through 12 through this district, I never once had a bad teacher, whether it be an assistant coach or anything, even an office staff. I never had one bad employee of the district, and that's the one thing that this board has always done, was hire great teachers and staff. So please cut the budget a different way and try to save some of their jobs. Thank you.
Kevin Glova, followed by Marcy Anderson.
Good evening. Kevin Glova. I don't have to tell you where I live. 4 elementary positions at the Laurel Valley Elementary. Is just as another sign that that's the next building to go?
Actually, we had class sizes, as I said during my PowerPoint, of 11, 12, and 13. And so by looking at the decline in enrollment district-wide, the cuts still allow us to have class sizes that are less than 20.
So the Laurel Valley Elementary students ratio will be 20 to 24 students then?
No, I said there won't be a K2 classroom above 20.
Okay.
Actually, and I can give this to you, the only grade level that will have class sizes above 20 with a projected enrollment is grade 4. They'll have 22, 23, and 23. All others are 20 or less.
Why did it have to wait till now to do this? Over the last 2 or 3 years, I think the board and you have been remiss in not studying this sooner. Because you can't blame it on student enrollment all of a sudden dropping to these numbers.
I agree. We probably could have taken a closer look at this last year.
Okay, another question. Articles in the Trib. You state in the Trib that enrollment number